Hi everyone, this is Shashank Singh and we are in the way of learning Python programming language. In this video, as you can see on my screen as well, today we're going to discuss a very important interview question to write a Python code to implement queue using list, right? So as we have already seen, how can we implement stack using list? If you are not aware of those lectures, you can go ahead and check it out from previous videos. Cool, so first of all, we will understand what is queue and why we're going to use it actually. Like stack, queue is also a linear data structure that stores element in FIFO manner, which is first in, first out manner, right? So with the help of queue, last added item will be removed first, or you can say the first added item will be removed last, right? So as you can see on this diagram as well, this is something called enqueue, which is operation to push something to queue, and this is dequeue, which is operation to pop something, or you can say remove the existing elements from queue, right? So I have created one dummy diagram to let you guys understand. So let's assume this is a single lane road wherein traffic is there, and this is something called check post, or you can say tunnel, whatever. So whichever vehicle will come first will be removed last, right? So remove mean it will pass from this check post for first, right? So after this vehicle, this one will come, and then this, and the last one will be removed last, right? So let's assume these all are the elements of queue. So in this case, the last added item will be removed last, and the first added item will be removed first. So this is all about queue. So let me, let's do not waste our precious time, and let's just get directly jump to Jupyter Notebook to see how can we write code for the same, right? So first of all, I will give you a small overview how we gonna write code for the same, right? So first of all, I will use queue variable name, and this is for empty list, initializing this with this queue variable. I will use two function basically, one to push something to queue, right? And the second function I will use, so def keyword, with this def keyword, uh, pop le. So this is our second function to pop something from queue, right? Or you can say remove some existing element from queue. Now I will write some logic while true. Now let me print, enter the operation that you want to perform. 1 to push something to queue, 2 to pop something from queue, and 3 to quit, right? Okay, after this, user will enter something, right? So we will store the user and put whatever user will enter as a choice. This is a variable name, you can take anything, num, anything you can take, int, and then input, right? So this is a built-in function which allows end user to take input, right? Cool. So after that, I will write if else logic. If choice is equal to 1, I will call push le, and if choice is equal to 2, I will call pop le, right? If choice is equal to 3, we need to quit, right? So what I gonna do is I will write here break. Else if someone will enter 4 or 5 or anything, right? So what we're gonna print is, hey, you are not entering the correct choice, right? So this is the logic. Now let me write the logic for push element, push something to the queue, which is something called in queue, and to pop something, like to remove the existing element from the queue, which is called dequeue operation, right? So let me write the logic for the same. So first I will do element is equal to, this is a variable name, and here also I will take input. So let's say I'm writing here input, and then here I'm writing enter the element that, or you can say item that you want to push to the queue, right? Yeah, cool. Now once the user will enter something, let's say he has entered 10 or whatever he will enter, right? So it gets stored to this element variable, and then what I'm doing here is I'm appending the same element, right? So with the help of append function. So basically this append function is used for in queue operation, and for the queue operation we're going to use pop, right? So to push something, or you can say in queue operation, we're going to use append. So here I am appending the same element whatever user will enter. So this input function will allow end user to take input, right? So let's say he has entered Shashank or something, so that will be stored in this element, and then I am appending the same element to queue, right? So this is the empty list. So let's say if we'll enter 10, so 10 will be there. Cool. So I'm writing here print, and I will write pushed element is, so I will show you what the user has pushed, right? So here we're gonna print element, and then print queue, right? So this is to push something, and let me write the logic for pop, right? So I'm writing here if not queue, so it will print if queue will be empty, right? So what I will print, uh, this queue is empty, that's it. Else I will write the logic to pop something, right? So here I'm using the same, let's say element and then pop. This is a variable name, right? So now I will call the pop function q dot pop. So here we need to keep one thing in our mind. So here we need to write zero index, right? So if you won't write the zero index, so it will be popped like we have seen in stack, right? So in stack we have seen that the last element will be popped out first, right? So in the if you want write, so it will be as a stack only. So for queue, the last one should have to popped out at last, right? So here that's the reason why we are writing here 0, right? Now print, so I am writing what element we have popped it. So we have popped this element, or you can say popped item is, yes. And now print again q, right? So so first of all it will execute this particular line, enter the operation. Let's say a user will enter 1 to push something, right? So if choice will be 1, so we will call push element. So push, under this push element, it will again ask from end user to enter the element that you want to push to the queue, right? So once he will enter, let's say he has entered 10, right? So 10 will be stored to element, which is a variable name. So here in element we have stored 10, and we are appending the same 10, whatever the user will enter we will append to this empty list, right? And we will print these two lines. Once he will enter choice as 2, then we will call this function pop_ele, right? If there won't be any element, this function this particular portion will be execute, this queue is empty. Else what we will do is we will pop the last element, sorry, the first element which has pushed to the queue, right? So and after that we'll print this. So let me execute this and let me show you how exactly it works, right? Yeah, So it's asking enter the operation that you want to perform, 1 for push, 2 for pop, and then 3 for quit, right? So once you'll enter 2 here, so there is no element in queue, so it's returning this queue is empty, enter the operation that you want to perform. So here I'm entering 1 to push something, so it's asking enter the item that you want to push, right? So I am pushing here my name first, Shashank. So if you'll see, Sashank has pushed to this queue, right? I wanted to push one more thing. Let's say I'm writing here Sumit. So 2 elements has pushed to this queue, right? 3. Let's say I am writing here, I'm pushing one more thing. Let's say I'm pushing 25, and then let's say 24. Cool. So these 4 elements are pushed to the queue, right? So first element that has pushed is Sashank, then Sumit, then 25, and then 24, right? So if you'll call this 2, then it will pop some element, right? So which element it will pop? So if you'll see here, the first vehicle which has came to this check post has popped out first, right? So first element is Sashank. So once you will enter 2, so Sashank will be popped out. So popped out item is Sashank, which has entered first, right? If you'll call 2 again, I mean like pop function again. So Sumit has popped out because the second one which has pushed to this queue is Sumit, right? So that's how, if you call this 2 again, so 25 has popped out, and then 24 has popped out, and if you call again, queue is empty, right? So this is how you can implement queue using list, right? So you can pause this video if you have any I mean like if you have any challenges in understanding this, you can feel free to comment in comment box or reach out to me. Thanks for watching this video. We will come back with the next video very soon.